Welcome back. Mr. X, joined by Swanee. We finally got the game to start. We didn't have to use aggression to force our way in. We just simply waited. We were very patient. I actually tweeted Wheats, and as soon as I tweeted him, I looked up and the game was started, so I immediately deleted that. But map number 1, it's going to be Hardpoint on Biolab. Swan, who do you want to start off with?
I'd like to start on board with someone from Justus, I think, and see how much they can capitalize on the favorable spawn, the blue spawn at the moment.
Yeah, I think I want to start off with Classic because he has an awesome camo on his gun.
That's as good a reason as any.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the best reason ever. That camo looks so sweet. Those new camos out for purchase, I believe. They are, there's a ton of them. The animation ones, they look pretty awesome. But you're going to see Justus control this first hill. Really no pressure at all coming from Rise. I mean, you don't see anyone near the hill. And I know they're going to start out. The very nice start here, Justus, up 20 points.
Yeah, and I think that's largely down to the fact that, I don't know if you noticed, but Pac-Man actually used the sniper. He did manage to get a kill. And we've seen that sometimes, you know, not particularly on Biolab Hardpoint. I wouldn't really advise it, but especially on CTS, just to establish some initial map control. You know, you'll see people bringing out the overkill sniper class. It's strange that he elected to use it on Biolab, you know, because it essentially, as you said, it's given Justus the opportunity to take control of the hill and to get an early 20 points.
Right, you're going to see, I mean, Justus, they're going to just start rotating right here, but they're going to pretty much get this one even Rise at the start of this. So, big, I would say that's a win for Rise. Able to go down pretty heavily right there at the start, but even it up, Slacked on your screen. He is going to absolutely turn on Wheats. He's going to hear about that one for a while. There's a player in the back, though, for Justus going off. That was Classic. He was able to defend that spawn. Looks like Slack going to try and get these cuts. Justus doing a very good job holding the second hill.
Yeah, absolutely, and all Rise are looking to do now is just flood from the top escalators, maintain control of the hill. Slack is having none of that. He's, you know, I think him and Classic combined to give just probably an extra 10, 20 points on the hill with those 6 kills. Yeah,
absolutely, and Classic sitting on the hill. He is going to be left all alone. It's going to be players going down for Justus. Mochilla, last one up. He's going to try and push this hill. He's going to get taken out. And it looks like that, Rise making a comeback. They're not getting that initial time, but they're getting good chunks of time, keeping themselves in the game.
Yeah, now with only 5 seconds left, you'll see on the minimap, Justus, once again, they've already established control of the third hill, and this is an important hill to hold because potentially, if you get the correct setup on it, if you have people watching both alleys, you know, making sure not to die by the barrels, you can get a good 40, 50 points.
Right, I think this is a hill that you can take a ton of time on, but just like that,
yeah.
Rise able to break it. Pac-Man and Wheats in your kill feed, dominating it. 2 kills come in for Justus. It's going to be Enable. He's going to try and work his way into the hill. He's got 1 player to beat in here, knows that player 2 is right, takes out Chino. Now, Enable, we talked about it before, you know, very underrated player in Advanced Warfare. You know, we think he's going to be a breakout player this year. I think what separates him is I think, you know, he brings tons of leadership to this team that, you know, otherwise they don't really have.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Halo players, as everyone knows, they're infamous for, you know, their communication, their leadership, and just their general mentality. And it's something really irreplaceable that he brings to this team that a lot of players, a lot of up-and-coming Call of Duty players don't really understand about.
And that's a 7 streak for Enable, making insane plays, punching people in the mouth, blowing up barrels, just taking over the game right now for Justus as they start to pull away. Got a player behind him. He's going to swing. He's going to shoot. Doesn't know what is going on. He's actually going to drop right there, but very nice run for Enable. It's going to be important for Rise. Try and take control of this hill, hold it for a period of time, because otherwise it's going to go into that Biolab, and it's just going to trade. And I think, you know, they're going to need to try and make most of their time back on this hill.
Yeah, as you predicted, it's Wheats leading Rise in the lane department. Everyone else is slacking a little bit, you know. But even though I think they've rotated initially and they've established control first of the past 3 hills, but Rise still seem to be breaking them fairly easily.
Yeah, you know, Rise doing a good job of breaking these hills as soon as they get there. It's going to be Chino. He's going to be picking up 2 players. He's going to have to back down. Has another teammate in front of him. He's going to challenge, and Rise going to be able to take the lead here against Justus. So, not what we expected off the start. Going to go on with Slacked. He's going to be trying to push into purple, try and get control of this Biolab area. He's going to have a teammate in front of him. He's taken out, but no, I think this next hard point in mid Biolab, it's extremely hard to control. I think it's going to be one of those hills that you just kind of fight for garbage time on.
Yeah, ideally, in an ideal situation, you want to be holding snow, making sure they can't break from snow. Have a guy in purple, don't just have everyone stacking the hill, and basically forcing them into that ice tunnel.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're 100% correct. You're going to see Enable. He's going to try and watch the front, but he's going to get stunned. I know that's something we talked about a lot in Advanced Warfare as the stuns are very potent, but you see 4 down, 4 rise, everyone going to have to push through that green alleyway. You see 3 players coming from the right. It's 1 player over there from Justus trying to hold that down. That was Classic. He's taken out all 4 players in the hill now for Rise. They are going to take a slight lead, but still very close going into this second rotations of hill shortly.
Yeah, and I think I'm actually, well, I'm not surprised, but I think there's potential for someone to maybe pull out a barrel just to establish a bit more long-range dominance. You know, if there's any map you can do it on, not Detroit, but this one certainly. You know, at the moment it's just an absolute ASM fest. Yeah,
I think, you know, if there was 1 player from a team to pull out a barrel, I think it would be Mochilla. You know, at 8 and 14 right now, the slower pace works in his advantage. I think that's where he feels more comfortable doing. I think if he were to pull out a barrel and just try and lock down some of those more advantageous areas, that would help. But Slack, he doesn't care. He's on a 5-kill streak. He's absolutely dominating right now. You're going to see all players from Rise, though. They're pushing over towards this purple side of the map, and they are going to try and break through this hill again. But Justus taking lead. Nobody really gaining any map control. Everybody kind of back and forth in this game.
Yeah, I'm surprised they've actually managed to get this many points off this hill, actually, because as I said earlier, you know, notoriously the middle hills, it's garbage time, it's scrap time, as you'll hear players say, and all you're looking to do is basically just contest the time and set up for the next hill, which in this instance, Rise has done more effectively. Yeah, and I think, you know, what happened on that hill is just Slack did a great job of staying alive, and they're going to take pretty much that entirety of that hill. So we'll be trying to note and see if that comes back to haunt Rise, able to not get that first hill at all of this, you know, second rotation. You're going to see Classic. He's going to jump in. He's going to be taken out. Nobody really, you know, standing out in the slaying department for Rise. It's going to be pretty much Wheats, the one on top. Only 1 positive for his team. Diabolic struggling a little bit down there at 11 and 23. And, you know, when you have a teammate struggling, Swan, on respawn, it's kind of difficult to get him going. What do you like to, you know, kind of tell your teammates, trying to get them going, try and set them up for easier kills? If they make a kill, you need to make sure that they know that that is the most important kill that they've ever made in their life. Even though if they've just shot someone in the back or anything, you know, it's just basically about giving them confidence. And, you know, the psychological aspect is hugely underrated by, you know, up-and-coming and amateur players. You'll often find that when they'll go down a few hills, or someone will make a mistake. Just forget about it, you know. Concentrate on what can be done in the game rather than just dwelling on the mistakes you've made. The biggest difference between amateur players or semi-pro players, whatever you'd like to call them, and professional players, you know, is that mental game. I think that's what separates, you know, those 2 groups. There's tons of players who definitely could play at the professional level, but, you know, they just can't really bounce back from those tough games. It's really difficult, and, you know, just as split-second decisions. See Classic on the hill picking up 2, but Chino able to flood in as Rise going to get control. But just like that, it is taken back by Slack, and I believe that was a Naval over there. Naval's actually going to try and push in the front of this hill, but you know, this is a very close hard point, something that I don't think either of us expected. No, Rise doing a great job on those rotations and breaking hills. Yeah, up until this point, just was able to maintain a marginal lead, you know, and aside from Mochilla, I think the fact that Rise have actually taken the lead now, it really isn't reflected in the slaying department. If you look at the distribution of kills, as I said, aside from Mochilla, you know, Justus is just about dominating the kill feed. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at, it's going to be Enable 28 and 20, Slack 30 and 27, and then you're going to have Classic 33 at 27. I know, all leading pretty much the room right there in kills. They actually are the 3 top slayers in the room, so very odd you see a team have the 3 top slayers in the room and, you know, not have a huge advantage. Yeah, now Pac-Man, I think, just made the play of the match right there. I'm not sure if you saw, but although it was maybe only 1 or 2 kills, he actually managed to flank from green to give his team the favourable spawns. And now you see just as after the recent update, they may have spawned, well, before the recent update, sorry, they may have spawned a little closer, but now that they spawned so far out on ice, and they're actually electing a 4-man push green, which I think is a smart play. Yeah, I think that's the best way. I think, you know, you're going to have to try and make, you know, 2 or 3 strong pushes as a team instead of, you know, just trying to go 1 by 1. But Rise looks like they're able to hold this hill. They're going to take pretty much the extent of this time, and a very nice hold from the team of Rise. I mean, I think it's going to come down to this last hill. Justus is going to have to rotate pretty early. They're going to have to win those gun battles over in the biolab area. And, you know, this is going to be a very difficult one for Justus to come back and win. Yeah, but I think that was a mistake, actually, by Diabolic. They had 3 people in the green hill with around 10 seconds left, and he actually pushed it with them. I think, although they've somehow managed to contest this hill, I think what you should have done is rotate to the middle hill early, because that's the hill which you're going to win the game on. Yeah, and you're going to see Diabolic on your screen. He's going to pick up 1.
It's another player behind him. Great shot there out of Diabolic. And it looks like Rise Nation going to be able to take this one. So, bit of a shocker. Did not expect that in our first hardpoint. It's going to be Rise Nation taking this first map over Justus. Pretty commanding win right there. You know, they did a great job rotating from hill to hill, even though Justus, you know, looked extremely strong with, you know, Classic 37 kills, Slack 33, then Naval 35. But, you know, Chino and Wheat's going big in the slaying department, and Pac-Man too, 36 kills out of Pac-Man. Usually don't see that out of him, mostly an OBJ player, but a great first map for Rise Nation.
Yeah, I mean, once again, a pretty accurate representation of just how wide open this league is. The fact that Justus looking so strong in the previous match in Respawns, they've come into this one, you know, they're hyped up, they've got the momentum from the 3-0 win versus FaZe, and yet they've just lost to Rise on the first Respawn.
Yeah, so no, that is a very shocking outcome of that first Respawn, something neither of us expected. But when we come back, we're going to have map number 2 in this series between Rise and Justus. It's going to be Recovery S&D. Actually, no, it's not. I'm lying to you guys. It's going to be Terrace S&D. So when we come back from this quick commercial break, we'll have Terrace S&D, map number 2 in this series. Stay tuned, guys.